Up first, we have some breaking news concerning a high-profile fatal crash involving a self-driving Uber car. A huge development happening right now. Uber will not be criminally charged after one of the company's self-driving vehicles hit and killed a woman last year in Tempe.
Team 12's Bianca Bono joins us live here in studio with the late-breaking developments. And Bianca, what's the latest?
Yeah, well, guys, that decision coming from the Yavapai County Attorney's Office, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office turning the case over to them due to a conflict of interest with Uber. The deadly crash happening last May in Tempe. Elaine Herzberg was crossing the street outside of a crosswalk when a self-driving Uber SUV hit and killed her. Footage from the car shows the company's safety driver, Rafaela Vasquez, sitting in the front seat, looking down, as you can see there. And Tempe investigators believe she was streaming Hulu on her phone just moments before the crash. Now that Uber has been cleared, the case going back to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for further investigation. And Tempe PD has been asked to bring in another expert to analyze the speed and lighting conditions of the street where the crash happened to determine what the driver should have seen that night and ultimately if she could have prevented it. Again, Uber will not be charged in that crash, but the company's safety driver who was in the front seat at the time of the crash has not been cleared. Guys, back over to you.